Hello and welcome to round 14 of Grand Prix Cleveland. On your right, Eric Blanchett. On your left, Valentin Mackl. These guys have only a loss and a draw between them. We are going to find out which one of them is going to be earning a spot in the top 8 in this round. Eric Blanchett is the last undefeated player. He's still the last undefeated player. 37 points. That draws pretty much as good as a loss here, though.
They still have some mulligans.
We're going to jump over to table 2 for a minute. Okay.
Oh, cool.
They're still resolving mulligans there.
All right. Here are another couple of 12-win players. Winner all but clinches top 8. Winner clinches a tie for it, and come on, they're on pod 1. Their breakers are going to win. Look at that. Right on cue. Gerard, Fabiano, it's turn 3. Time to have Swamp Plains Island. He's mixing it up this game. I was expecting that Plains to be a forest.
Showing us his range here.
Showing us his range.
You know,
always the turn 3 Rakshasa, Rakshasa secret.
Every time. He loves it. Like, if you're playing against him and you don't expect that, then you're doing it wrong, because he is going to Rakshasa secret you often.
I'm sure he's so sad to play that Skull Hunter.
Yeah, the question is, can Calcano deploy one of his 4-mana threats here? Specifically, oh no. Okay, that's not bad.
I think he's got the land.
He does have the land in his hand as well.
Oh, he's holding it. It's Gerard Fabiano. You don't want to play a land. Why would you play a land on turn 4 if your opponent is just going to hit you with another Rakshasa secret?
He held the land.
Yes.
Go Calcano. He knows.
He just needs to get to 4 and defend his threats.
Sick play from Calcano.
Yeah, I like it.
Now, we got a chance to watch Christian draft this deck, and he had a couple of picks in the early stages of the draft that I was like, what is going on here? But then it all came together in the Dragon.
Did it come together when he opened the first High Sentinels or the second one?
The first one was good enough to have it come together, and then also the next few cards he got in that pack, but the second Sentinels really sealed the deal, and his deck is great. It's going to be Gerard's really going to have his hands full here with Calcano's
He's trying to figure out whether to trade Emissary with the token or double block to kill the Horde Chief. Decides for the double block.
Fabiano with 2 mana up. It's pretty easy to actually put him on Disdainful Stroke. He loves that card.
Yeah. And the hesitation
we'll see
as
if he has
Calcano
it.
goes to put it on the table. But
and does he have it?
Battle Priest looks like it's going to stick. I think I see a Treasure Cruise in Gerard's hand.
Yeah, he doesn't have it.
He can cruise here.
But yeah, he's
at risk of falling a little bit behind on board. Not that far behind, though. Well, it's just cruise. Yeah, Battle Priest is not going to attack. It's just going to outlast.
Yeah, now the real question I have here is if Christian has one of his 2 Hunt the Weeks.
That would be big. Hunt the Week on this board would be very, very good.
Unbelievable. It would represent life gain for Calcano. Not that relevant, but it would be 8 damage.
Yeah.
Half of Gerard's life total disappears. If he doesn't have it, Gerard's looking at taking either 3 or none. He probably, I'm assuming Calcano would just attack with the Mastodon here.
Gerard, the most damage Gerard takes this turn would be 1. And that's
1?
Mastodon could attack in.
Well, I'm saying he's
he's just not going to attack.
He's only going to attack with Mastodon. And all right, so level up, leave 4 mana here for Calcano.
Here's Rakshasa Secret. Yeah, Calcano's like, all right, when I have 2 lands in hand, then I'm allowed to play more.
Wow, this is crazy, this game.
It's kind of a flooded out draw for Christian.
It really is.
5 lands in play, 2 have been knocked out of his hand. Might regret discarding spells to the first one.
He might. He's drawn another land for the turn.
Wow.
He's got a Mardu Horde Chief in his hand right now. He's going to attack safely here. He doesn't even want to trade anything.
He refuses to attack Mastodon into 2/2s.
No, he doesn't want to trade it. It makes some sense too. We were talking about Hunt the Week earlier. He doesn't need targets for those type of spells.
He's got 1 incremental growth in his deck as well?
Yes. Don't know if he main decked it. I'm assuming he did. Let's take a look. Yeah, it's in his deck. Pair of Dragon Scale Boons as well.
Jeez.
Wow,
7
right
mana?
on time.
Ojutai. Now we see why Gerard mixed it up and went into white.
Wow.
Giant flying dragon thing.
That is super brutal for Calcano, who just doesn't have much in the way of answers for something that big.
True.
The Hunt the Weeks just don't get the job done. And he doesn't main deck his Smite the Monstrous, so...
He's got, what, 1 Savage Punch, I think?
He's got 1 Savage Punch, and that's not quite... I guess that is good enough here. Savage Punch would have been good enough, but Fabiano cannot wait to untap. He has escaped, and how about a Rakshasa's Secret?
Clear your hand.
You didn't want to keep any spells, did you? That's the 3rd one.
Is that Crackling Doom
That
just
was
went to the
Crackling
yard?
Doom. That was absolutely
He's 4-color
Crackling Doom.
non-green?
Yes. And here comes Ojutai. It's going to lock down the Battle Priest.
So what's going on here is that Gerard didn't enjoy not winning Grand Prix Miami? He just keeps winning these giant events, right? It's like, I didn't like this not winning thing in Miami.
He's going to pick that right back up again, it seems.
I liked it better when I just won the giant events.
So now this whole entire game is going to revolve around Ojutai.
Fair enough.
And Calcano, I think he's got maybe one answer to it in his whole deck. This was the downside to Calcano's list, is that he never got any really solid removal spells out of the deal.
Yeah, well, Smite the Monsters will come in from the sideboard, I'm sure.
That's right. But
It's your favorite. The Krushak. Now, he only has 6 lands, see? He couldn't have cast a Sandstep Mastodon there.
Battlefront Krushak has arrived. Oh,
Parsi High
Gerard.
Priest.
Gerard's always showing us new tricks.
God, this deck is so sweet from a card advantage point of view. Oh, wow, he's got a Herald of Anafenza, too?
Gerard does?
Yeah.
So he does?
Oh, and a Butcher of the Horde.
Wow.
2 Treasure Cruise, 2 Bitter Revelation, 3 Rakshasa's Secret, just all 2-for-1s.
You know, that was his theory at the last GP that
I know.
he won.
Seems like it still works. I mean,
It does.
he's got the most powerful defense available in Magic of scoreboard.
Right, yeah. Well, I mean, his whole theory is that it's a numbers game in this format. And that what you want to be doing is taking away 2 cards for one of theirs and then drawing cards to replace them. And he feels like if you can just employ that plan, you'll win most of the time. There's some formats where that doesn't work, where they get off to a quick start, you make them discard a bunch with Mind Rot style effects, and it doesn't end up working out. They just kill you. Yeah, but Gerard doesn't think that this is one of those formats. The Krushak's going to be able to get in, and it looks like Gerard doesn't want to risk Ojutai in combat here, which makes some good sense.
Hard to blame him. Although, Christian has the card off the top.
Yeah, he has a single unknown card, and
a
more importantly, he's in desperation mode here, right? I mean, this is the type of thing where Calcano looks at the board and says, okay, if this continues, I lose, so I must do something else. Even if it's desperate, even if it's low percentage of victory, he needs to do something.
Survey says Pinewalker.
The Pine Dad.
Hit you.
Yeah, that was it, right? I mean, this is... Like, he just threw his Pinewalker into Ojutai. If it got blocked, it gets eaten.
Yep.
You know, but that's the spot that Christian Calcano's in. He just can't afford to sit around anymore.
Yeah. No, it's a good attack.
Yeah, I like it.
Gerard's non-block, I don't know. It's not bad. I don't love it, just because, like you say, Christian's obviously in desperation mode.
Right, and he has 1 unknown card off the top.
And the morph is unknown. I don't know that you block it. The morph could be a Willie Loxodon.
Sure.
You can't. Ojutai can't block the morph.
Calcano needs something. I think he's got a Dragon Scale boon. You see him pull those 4 mana aside too.
Yeah.
A subtle hint, but probably a little too subtle to pick up as an actual read.
So I think that's a legit tell.
Calcano's at 9, dead in 2 turns. Fabiano, after taking a relatively big hit of 8 last turn, is down to 5.
Yeah, turn him sideways. What else are you gonna do? Awaken the Bear would be really good from Christian. He's got Dragon Scale Boon though?
Yeah.
He drafted both, if I'm not mistaken.
He did. There's one of them in his graveyard.
Okay.
The first of 3 Rakshasa Secret hit that. So right now his hand is Forest and Boon.
So what's your block if you're Gerard?
Well, he's compelled to block the Pinewalker.
Yes.
He cannot block the Crew Shock.
True.
So he's dead if he doesn't have something. So he's probably going to have to chump the Pinewalker with his High Priest and block the token.
And die to Dragonscale Boon?
Yes.
You're telling me Calcano's going to win this game?
I mean, he could double block, but then he's dead. So basically what I'm saying is Gerard has to have something that interacts with Calcano's creatures or a counterspell for the Boon, which is definitely in Gerard's range.
Yeah, the hat has come off. Gerard is now rubbing his forehead.
Oh, it's getting sweaty down there. And this could
The non-block last turn is looking a lot worse here. Good thing he's got that Crew Shock instead of a Mastodon.
I don't think he can block that, right?
Does it have to have a +1/+1 counter on it for that?
No. You can't double block it.
Oh.
It's not the can't be blocked point, it can't be double blocked.
Okay.
So he's okay with this then. And he, in fact, if he does make this block, he won't lose his Ojutai here.
Yeah,
either.
this block's easy. Yeah, if Ojutai had blocked Pinewalker, then Dragonscale Boon would be a blowout.
Full on blowout.
And Gerard's going to lose to Awaken the Bear either way.
Right.
So this is a really smart block from Gerard.
Yeah, I like this. Also, that Crew Shock is a little scarier. Just he'd love to be able to single block, get that thing off the board. Now, Calcano can save his Crew Shock here, or he could even get Gerard down to 2. Oh, he looks like he's still actually in the tank about this block here.
Gerard is?
Yeah, it looks like it.
You solved it, buddy. But Ojutai, did he just change his mind and take it?
Yes. I
Really?
feel like Calcano is in a position where he's forced to go for it.
Oh, yeah. Go for it.
Oh, no, he doesn't.
What?
He says, sure, go to 1, go.
Wow.
I mean, that does make sense. Look at the board state now. The Battle Priest stays locked down, and Calcano has 3 lethal threats.
Gerard drew Butcher of the Horde, but he doesn't have a creature to sack to give it haste.
Oh my goodness.
If he could just go Creature Butcher, he could attack for the win in the air. Or no, or he can Master the Way for the win.
Master the Way. Calcano had to go for it that last turn.
Unbelievable.
I wonder. It's really tough because Gerard does have infinite cards in hand.
And infinite tricks. He has the widest range of anybody on the Grand Prix circuit.
He does.
Much less the Pro Tour.
It's just, the fact that Calcano then dies with that card in his hand is pretty disappointing for him here.
Wow. All right, Eric Blanchett, Valentin Mackl. Same records, well, similar enough records. Win, and you are in at least a tie for top 8 that you're very likely to win. Lose, and, well, you get to run it back again next round. Eric Blanchett is the aggressor here. Valentin tries to stabilize with a Rage form, but...
He was stabilized.
Grim Contest takes that down, clears a path. Goreswine is the next play. Little dorks are just going to keep coming over. Do you want to trade your pig for a rat or a Highland game? Yeah, I guess you kind of have to. Outlast and a morph. Mackl goes for Bloodfire Expert, which also has to trade. Ooh!
Holy smokes.
Tries to trade it for the morph, gets devoured by Hooded Hydra, and Valentin Mackl scoops them up. Eric Blanchett hasn't lost yet and sees no reason to start losing now.
Wow. That was a beating. Like, Mackl
That was.
played spells that game, right?
Most turns, yeah. He got on his back foot from the curve of Typhoid Rats into Highland game.
And just was
into,
never,
Disowned
ever
Ancestor,
had his
Grim
feet
Contest,
under him.
Morph. Wow.
Did they draw? Or is
Yeah,
this
I don't
match
know.
Over?
I feel like we might be getting some spoiler information from the picture in the lower right. I'm going to predict Eric Blanchett wins this game. We'll see how it plays out. Turn
I
3
like the way you
Sultai
think,
player
Bueller. I like
is a
the way
good
you
start.
think.
Couple of Bloodfire experts for Valentin. Okay. I guess hypothetically, Eric could triple draw. Like he could take draws in the next 2 rounds and make top 8, but there's no one who can draw with him.
So he could offer, but he won't get
Yeah,
the
no one will accept. No one will say
response.
yes.
That must be Hooded Hydra under there.
I mean, it was last time. Why you're because you expect a fast blowout? We were watching Gerard for a while. Jeskai Sage joins the Bloodfire expert team. 6 for how about a dragon? Yeah, your flyer's smaller than mine.
Boom. Also could just be Wooly.
Ugin! Jeez! Ugin in the house.
Hello, friend. Looks like he minus to kill all of Valentin's board, a couple of his own creatures too.
But not the dragon.
And not the morph because it's colorless.
Right. Valentin Mackl draws 1
G.
card and extends the hand.
Turns out turn 6 Ugin gets the job done pretty
Turn
quickly.
6.
Yeah.
6.
Yeah.
Welcome to the top 8, Eric Blanchett. He doesn't have to sweat tiebreakers.
No.
So he is
gets,
in.
He just gets to handshake next turn and the person...
No one will handshake with him next turn.
Oh, so what is he doing?
He can play Dreamwrecker.
Or he could even concede?
Oh no, he'll get an opponent that can draw.
Okay.
Right, he'll get an opponent on X1.
Okay.
And he's on X01.
Okay.
So basically he can play, yeah, he should draw and then he's the 1 seed. Eric Blanchett, welcome to the Pro Tour, welcome to the top 8.
Fantastic.
You are looking like our number 1 seed.
He has been crushing it.
Yeah, the winner of this match will get paired against him as like the finals of Pod 1, and where nobody cares. Like they'll both just draw. Like the winner of this game will wind up as the 2 seed after shaking hands with Eric.
Wow, this is huge.
All right. Gerard is up a game. Christian Calcano did not want to go for a Dragon Scale boon when Gerard Fabiano was having a grip of cards that could have been anything. Disdainful Stroke, Cancel, I don't know, Rakshas's Disdain, anything. Could have been anything. That feels
Literally could have been anything.
And you know, that's actually one of the advantages of playing the way Gerard plays and sort of attacking people from different angles with cards they're not familiar with. They make mistakes.
Yeah. It does. It forces you into weird situations.
Right. And I mean, I don't know.
We saw Calcano not play a land on turn 4 that game. Probably
Also true.
correctly.
Probably
that's
correctly.
weird, right? Like,
Yes.
you know, you're making your opponent do things that they wouldn't
Yeah,
normally
and then we
do.
saw him not go for Dragon Scale Boon that would have been lethal. And we saw Gerard's hand, right? Gerard had nothing?
I don't know. I only saw a few cards out of his hand. I don't think he had anything, though.
I didn't notice anything.
Yeah, I just don't know how big of a blowout it is if he does. Like, let's say he has Whisk Away there. Is the game just over? Kind of.
Yeah, I mean, you're losing to Ojutai anyway if you're Calcano.
But next turn, he's good to go.
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
It's just the pump spell doesn't help you after that.
Calcano's play. It was a judgment call. It's not just an obvious mistake.
No.
It's like in retrospect, he could have won and didn't. I mean, those feel really bad once you realize them. That doesn't mean your judgment call was wrong, but it's also just a weird spot. Gerard Fabiano with a grip of cards. You have no idea what's going on.
It's true. So we're going to start seeing some Rakshas's secrets hit the table here, I think. No. Gerard going for the unorthodox plan.
Morph revealing Herald.
And then play the Herald. And then play a land.
The unorthodox plan for Gerard of playing good cards?
Right, that's the difference. He's just going to play good cards. Instead of, he's got a secret in his hand. He's just waiting on it.
He's only got 1. There's also something to be said.
Maybe he's got 2. Maybe he's going to go for turn 6, double secret you.
I'm just saying, letting your opponent play their lands first and then secreting them is actually better.
That's the
You'd
standard
rather get
line.
the last 2 cards
That
than
is
the
the
first
standard
2.
line. He doesn't take that normally.
Well,
His ideal turn 3 play is to secret you. But yeah, I agree with you. I think it's better to wait usually. Those typhoid rats doing such work here. Wow. And Calcano's going to rumble here.
Yeah.
And offer the trade. And Fabiano, you'd think he'd just jump at trading the rats off for the Warden.
You're the one with Herald of Anafenza. Take the trade.
It is kind of interesting, though, because Herald of Anafenza does a pretty good job against Warden for a really long time. Eventually not enough.
I think you trade with rats, yeah.
I do too.
The interesting question was, do you trade Watcher for Mastodon? And I think I like that trade also.
Depends on how many treasure cruises he has.
All right, Dragonscale Boon. Instead, he traded his Watcher for Dragonscale Boon, which is still not the end of the world.
That is just the saddest, though. Rats for Warden of the First Tree. You know, 1 mana, 1 card each. Even trade, but oh my goodness, that Warden dominates the game late. Wow, look at Gerard go.
Kill my guy? Fine. That's just more fuel for my card advantage. Now he's going to go land Rakshasa Secret, isn't he?
He sure is.
Or better.
Oh, he's actually got white. He can level up his... Yeah, there you go. A little Outlast action, too.
It's even better.
Now look at this combo.
Karsi High Priest, upgrading the warriors in a manifest.
With an unending stream of tokens.
Must be nice to be Gerard Fabiano.
How insane is this guy? By the way, at a comfy 23 life ahead on cards in hand.
He's ahead on board, cards in hand, life, and lands?
Yep. Doing it. He's also ahead on games. And you're thinking this is death for the loser here?
No.
Or this is play and win next round?
No, you can back in. Next round, you get to play for it again. These guys, by winning last round, they get 2 win-ins. This is just the first of 2 for the loser. Oh, Savage Punch takes out Herald of Inifenza. All right. Disaster has been averted. Calcano also gets a nice chunk of damage here.
7.
Gerard is not interested in blocking with the warrior when he can't Karsi High Priest to create a new blocker.
Good for you, Calcano. Don't take that from him, man. That is
Crypt full of 7 cards for Gerard.
7 full cards. And
now it's
Calcano's
time.
about to start losing.
Yeah, he's down to 3 cards. Let's hit him. Pick one. You want to keep High Sentinels or you want to keep Incremental Growth?
I think he wants to keep growth here.
Really? He's going to get High Sentinels with Rakshasa Secret?
Yeah,
he does!
He does. I think that's
Hunt the Week High Sentinels?
See, that's absolutely correct.
How insane is that Rakshasa Secret? Why are we not all playing all of them?
Especially, yeah, and it's really doing well against Calcano's deck, too.
Yeah, Incremental Growth is pretty good here. If it resolves...
It's going to get...
Yeah, Christian is asking permission. Please, sir, may I have an Incremental Growth? All right, I'll allow it.
Permission to attack. Granted.
Really? Okay, attack with them. Christian can't believe it. He's literally out of cards. He's got only the forest in his hand that he drew off the top this turn. Gerard has a grip post-Treasure Cruise of 6. But...
Is he going to... Whoa, he didn't even cash in the...
What's he going to do with that mana? He just declined?
Wow.
Why did he not High Priest? Is Gerard just giving up on this game? He just missed it?
He must have just missed it. Oh, because he was going to Crux of Fate anyway. Oh my goodness. Gerard, you monster. Look at this guy. Wow.
Crux of Fate and Shambling Attendants.
Unreal.
Calcano has had his entire hand destroyed, his entire board destroyed. Gerard Fabiano, ladies and gentlemen.
That is insane.
Sure. Ojitai. Why not? This is insane.
There's nothing for Ojitai to lock down.
That's how far ahead Gerard is.
That's where we're at.
Long shot squad.
Oh, now he's found something to lock down.
Kill it, clear a path, handshake. Welcome
Gerard
to the top 8.
Making it look easy, playing that deck like a fiddle.
Well, I mean, he had his bad draft last time, so that deck only got a 2-1.
Yeah, which is, I can't
that
believe
was a train wreck.
I was thinking
he
1-2.
traded 2 1s with a train wreck, Marshall.
Yeah. Why aren't those sleeves melting in his hands? Like, he is on fire. You should smile, Gerard. Good for you. Another top 8.
Yeah, Grand Prix top 8.
You know, he just likes talking to me. He wants to come chat with me in the booth. That's my.
So what do we got here? I don't remember Josh Utter-Leyton having tattoo sleeves. Okay, we got him backwards.
On the right, yeah.
That makes way more sense.
It's the new Josh Utter-Leyton.
Okay. So this is the. Are these guys 12-1? These guys are not 12-1. These guys are 11-2. So this is an elimination match. I think our records on the board are just wrong.
Yeah, they're both 33 pointers here.
So Josh Utter-Leyton looks like he's up a game. He has to win his pod to make top 8 and cross his fingers and hope his tiebreakers hold up. He should. He is literally in first place amongst the, how many 33-pointers are there right now? Like 20-something?
There's 20-something.
And he has the best tiebreakers out of all 20-some. So he needs to win his pod. This is pretty sure this is pod 2.
There's 25. He has 76% tiebreakers, which is just above Alex John.
Well, step 1 though is he's got to beat Stuart Parnes.
And it looks like he's one of the good there.
Yeah, up a game. Has to win this match, and then he's got to win the next match. And then he's in the top 8. Try to get that 24 ranking up a little bit. Try to get the points he needs toward maintaining his platinum status. Jeskai Wind Scout and a Morph so far. So pressure point. And crunch. A blue-white aggro for Josh?
So far looks heavy white with some blue in there too. Let's take a look at the list. He is 8 island, 8 plains. He's got he's straight up blue-white.
I see a dead drop in Stuart's hand. Not particularly close to it yet though. I think he's got
Deck looks good.
Up. Yeah, is it?
Yeah, it looks really solid. Light form, elite scale guard, pressure points, frostwalkers, a couple of whiskaways.
Those are all good cards.
Yeah. It's not all good. He's got a couple Salt Road patrols in there, which are fine.
Okay. It's kind of what you wind up with if you're 2-color.
Yeah, I think the core here is 2 Jeskai Elder and 2 Jeskai Wind Scout. I think those are kind of your highlights. And, you'll see this sometimes too. He's running a Singing Bell Strike and a Wetland Sandbar. A couple of cards that you probably wouldn't prefer to run, but when you're only going to go 2 colors, sometimes you need to.
Morph blocks Morph. Who's going to blink first?
What was that?
It's Morph on Morph.
Picks up all its lands, okay.
Glacial Stalker.
You got to figure that Josh has something here for that.
Wouldn't think he would attack in without a trick.
Whisk away.
Wow,
Whoop.
That's a great trick. He even gets a prowess trigger for an extra point of damage.
How about 8 mana just disappearing there?
Yeah.
For Stuart.
That is just the way you draw it up with Whisk Away.
Mystery Morph.
What could it be?
It's funny. He actually didn't move it around in his hand at all either. So
really?
Josh will know for sure. Yeah, it was sitting right on top there.
We see people shuffling their hands. Like, why are people shuffling their hands constantly? Well, you don't want your opponent to know if you played the card you just drew.
Right.
Gives them extra information about your hand.
And, Stuart should know that giving Josh anything extra is not on the docket here. Though that being said, Josh is kind of barely keeping up here.
Well, he's
got him down to 8.
He's been on the front foot the whole time. His job is to try to deal 20 before that dead drop comes online.
Right.
That's really what his job is.
He's ahead of curve right now.
Just the flyer?
Oh, Crippling Chill. That is going to add a lot of fuel
now Josh,
to the fire for that dead drop.
You can attack with the Morph now if he wants to.
Yeah,
like you're attacking into Glacial Stalker? What is Josh's Morph that he wouldn't attack in?
No kidding. Is it 1,000 Winds? I don't think he's got one of those.
Does he not want to trade to set up dead drop? Yeah, he's not attacking with the Morph.
1,000 Winds. He's got a Mystic of the Hidden Way.
All right, he's going to go Watcher and another Morph.
Oh, it might be Dragon's Eye Savants. He has one of those. But you would want to trade that for Stalker, right?
Absolutely. Unless somehow he knows about the dead drop. He's just trying to keep some dorky creatures around.
Oh, that is possible. This is game 2. It also could be the Mystic of the Hidden Way, and he just wanted to use his mana more efficiently and flip it up this turn and get in for a bunch.
Sure.
You wouldn't want to trade that.
Wind Scout locked down. Josh is playing off the top now.
Josh is at 20. Stuart is still 2 mana, air quotes, away from casting a dead drop here. Either lands or cards in graveyard.
Josh's draw for the turn was
Light Form.
not bad.
So are we going to see those 3 mana to flip up a morph here? No.
Oh, he's not even attacking with Watcher?
Watcher gets eaten by the Lotus there. Lotus Path Djinn.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Singing Bell Strike. He had the 6 mana for Singing Bell Strike.
That's right.
Of course.
So now it has Vigilance.
And he spent the 6 mana on the Singing Bell Strike, so.
Yeah, so that's got to be the Dragon Eye Savants there, I guess, for Josh Utter-Leyton.
What does he have in ways to break through for these last 8?
Not a lot.
Oh, Josh is not up a game? Stuart's the one who's up a game?
Oh, wow.
I didn't notice our scoreboard change.
It did change. Yeah,
That is bad news for Team Raptor. If Stuart's up a game, then Josh has to rattle off 2 in a row. I thought he had a loss to give here.
Yeah, that changes everything. Raptor's ways to push through are not many. He's got an Elite Scale Guard, which could help. He's got a pair of Pressure Points, of which we've already seen one. A pair of Whisk-Aways, of which we've already seen one as well, which can help enable attacks.
Yet another morph.
Ooh, that could be the Mystic there, though.
Sure.
But he doesn't have any big blowout spells that can get him through.
Stuart flips over Sidisi's pet. Doesn't change a lot.
No, and that dead drop looks a lot worse now. It's never bad, but it's a lot worse than it was going to be.
Yeah, Mystic of the Hidden Way would be nice if that's what Josh has.
That would be
and
ideal,
it looks like
and
it
that's
is.
what that was. So,
good draw. All right, 3-turn clock. Does he get to untap?
oh, this could be huge. A Dowsing
He's at
Bloom.
or Throttle, maybe? I think
Throttle?
he has a Throttle.
Throttle would be fantastic. He does
Yeah,
have
in fact,
a Throttle.
he chose not to cast Bitter Revelation so that he could leave up Throttle mana.
Well played by Stuart Parnes there. Also making sure to fire that off while Josh was still completely tapped out, just in case. That Mystic was the best way that Josh had to get through.
Now what?
Well, he's got Treasure Cruise in his deck, so there's a chance that he just overwhelms the board if he can find a Treasure Cruise and just draw a bunch of creatures, but otherwise he's going to have to do this a good old-fashioned way. He's just going to have to fight through, and it's going to be very difficult for him to do that. Cards like Jeskai Elder at this point in the game just aren't going to do it. Wetland Sandbar, even a Whirlwind Adept. Oh, it was Cruise.
Got the Cruise.
That has to be the best draw in Josh's deck.
Chose to leave 1 Plains untapped and delve away his entire yard. Oh, Wind Scout with +1/+1.
Yeah, he's offering the trade here.
Which would then clear a path for the Watcher.
Yes.
Only the 1 flying blocker, so yeah, Wind Scout attack's pretty good here. Prowess Trigger does mean it's a trade. He's hoping Stuart doesn't have a 2-mana instant. That would be a blowout. Does not.
I think Stuart was hoping the same thing of Josh.
Fair.
Josh does play a Defiant Strike in his deck. That would have been pretty nice there, but he doesn't have it. Okay, so the way is now clear for Watcher to start trying to get through.
Indeed.
Huh. This is a really close game.
Indeed.
Gosh. Dig Through Time.
Dig Through Time. That's a good card. It seems better than Treasure Cruise.
Now the question is it better than Dead Drop? Because Stuart's not going to be able to cast both, he's going to be able to cast both in consecutive turns, but he's got to decide what order to do it in.
I think yes, it's better than Dead Drop.
7.
Eight, 9, 10. He's
10.
going for Dead Drop.
And he's left himself just
I guess
enough.
with 7 mana in play, yeah, he can Dead Drop and then dig. I guess
Yeah.
that order's better. if I could only cast one of them this game, I think I would choose the dig.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, you can cast them both, so this order makes a lot of sense. Yeah, Sage Harrier, and you had correctly read him for Dragon's Eye Savant.
Right.
Still have the light form. Oh, it's the path is for a light form guy in addition to Watcher.
Right, of course. This is 2-turn clock. Although it does get a little bit longer thanks to the CDC's pet. Even just a chump attack, as we say, just attacking it into a bigger creature would still gain Stuart an extra turn. Is this... Oh, it is Elite Scale Guard.
Hello.
2, 4, 6. Tap down your pet. And
Check.
This is a... Yes, check indeed. Wow, this is huge. And this also means the dig through time's too slow. It also just took away his ability to cast the Bitter Revelation he had in his hand to try to find answers.
And Sidisi's pet's lifelink is no longer relevant.
It is. He can attack, gain a life, and then play Bitter Revelation and try to find 2 answers.
Oh, yeah. Good luck with that. Good luck with that line.
Yeah.
I mean, it may
but
be
if
down
he has
to just
nothing
that.
else, I think that's where he's at here.
Yeah. It looks like where he's at.
Josh blocked. He's just like, nah, kid. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And he's just digging.
Yep.
He must have something specific in mind with his
mana?
black and blue mana available.
Hooded Assassin. Silumgar. Doesn't have the mana to cast Silumgar. Sage and another pet. I don't know.
I'm looking right now. I'm not seeing anything yet.
Yeah, nothing helps. Josh Utter-Leyton wins.
Wow.
Forces a game 3, stays live for top 8.
That's insane because Josh was top decking.
Yeah.
And we're like, well, what could he find? And it's like Treasure Cruise would be nice, and then he finds exactly Treasure Cruise off the top.
Indeed. Do we know how much time is left in the round? Seems like these guys... They've been playing for 37 minutes, it sounds like, so you got 10, 15?
Yep, 10 to 15, depending.
Interesting. Josh's deck does look like the quicker deck, for whatever that's worth.
Absolutely.
They should have time for game 3 here.
I mean, when you think
And
about
they both know, yeah, a loss is bad for both of them.
Oh yeah, they should have plenty of time. I mean, you got to give a lot of props to Josh Utter-Leyton for that one. Stuart resolved some pretty impressive spells that game.
Yeah.
And Josh just kind of shrugged him off. Not easily, but he did.
Just one more round to go in the Grand Prix after this one. We know that Gerard Fabiano is in the top 8. We know that Eric Blanchett is in the top 8. We also know that Valentin, Mackl, and Christian Calcano will be playing for it next round, along with a whole bunch of other people. Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're going to have 2 people in the top 8, and then we're going to have 6 to 8 win-and-ins, which of course doesn't add up.
Right.
But that's what it's going to feel like.
And that's what they'll be doing.
Yeah, you'll have 2 win-and-ins from the top table, and then you'll have win-and-ins on pods 2, 3, 4, and 5 at least. And then there's a couple others where maybe.
Win and maybe.
I think it might still be possible for a clean cut. I'm trying to think if there were 6 pods of 10 and 2s coming into this draft or just 5. I think there were 6 pods. I think the 10 and 2s got all the way down to half of pod 7.
I see Mark Herberholtz chatting with Sperling up in the corner there.
Sure. Yeah, Mark was back against the wall, having lost a round. He needed to win to earn a win-and-in, playing against Joseph Kambarakis. Does he look happy to you? Can you read the body language? Is he
If I had to guess, I would say happy, but it's hard to say. They also could just be watching a cat video on their phone, so.
All right, here we go. Game number 3. Gurmag Swiftwing gets in. Bat Chroma, the R&D folks like to call
that's
it.
a nice sideboard card against Josh.
Sure.
When your opponent shows you a couple of Jeskai Wind Scouts and a Watcher of the Roost, that guy's not bad.
It's like, will you play 1/2 flying for 2? It's a very Eric Lauer card. What if I give it haste? Will you play it now? All right, first strike.
I'm in. Yeah, card's, mediocre in most scenarios, but I like bringing it out of the board occasionally.
Hooded Assassin comes down as a 2/3.
Yeah, we should put the big dice on that thing just so it's a little more clear.
Jeskai Elder is joined by Jeskai Windscout. What is that card?
That is a rune mark of the Sultai variety.
Wow.
So all of a sudden, this bat has gotten a lot bigger.
How many abilities does it have now?
Well, it actually didn't get an extra one.
I know. Not yet.
No,
Maybe?
It might. It's a nice ability it gets, though, from the Sultai rune mark. It's Death Touch. Yeah, with first strike. Just, it can attack with impunity forever.
I'm not sure I'm in love with the rune mark against blue-white.
I hate it.
We saw
I'll be honest with you,
Whisk-Away.
Randy. Yeah.
A lot of the
even
pressure point and
cards like
crippling
that.
chill stuff aren't the end of the world.
No,
least.
but they're still bad.
There is a Whisk-Away in Josh's hand, in fact.
Yeah, well, it won't be there for that much longer.
Also a Singing Bell Strike.
Yeah, I think the rune mark is an aggressive strategy here, and that was 2 spells cast.
Two spells for 4 extra
2, 3,
power.
4, 5, 6, 7
7
damage.
total.
And by the way, I might as well loot while we're in there.
Might as well.
Wow, what a blowout. Stuart got fully punished for that rune mark there. That is brutal. He's going to need to regather here and try to get back on track.
His hand is kind of expensive. Saw Spell Snatcher in there, Sultai Scavenger.
Yeah, a bunch of hooded assassins. I don't know if that's what's going to get it done here. He's also misses land drop again, making that Singing Bell Strike look a lot better than it actually is. But it's doing its job right now. There's no doubt about it.
Windscout chips away for 2. And what's the 5 mana play?
That is unclear.
I see Mystic of a Hidden Way. I think he was thinking of
Card
face
cast?
up. Yeah. It looked like a face up Mystic.
I think he's thinking about Morph plus playing. He is just going to
goes face up Mystic.
He was thinking about playing it face down and playing the Dragon's Eye Savants face up as a blocker, I think. He was considering that option.
Sure.
Because we are in a race here. Make no mistake.
And he's taking 4.
Yeah. And this is going to be the Kiro Spell Snatcher face up again? Second time today, Randy.
Face up Spell Snatcher. Sometimes you need a 3/3.
Yeah.
It's actually solid on this board.
It really is.
I mean, Stuart is actually winning this race on board, isn't he?
He is. He's got 7 power right now.
Yeah, and Josh only has 5 in evasive. I mean, 1 prowess trigger would allow Josh to win next turn.
Yeah, you got to figure he's good for it. So this is going to be
the Whisk-Away.
The Whisk-Away, and he's going to be revealing that Whisk-Away to the Savants here. So this is effectively means that he's only going to take 2 damage this turn. And like you said, this race could be over. If he doesn't have to use the Whisk-Away, he can use it to win the game next turn to get that prowess trigger. He'd just have to attack with like his Elder and just whisk that away.
And Stuart definitely has to be worried about the ground creatures attacking. The Elder and the Morph are also threatening to do that last point of damage.
Exactly.
So only the Spell Snatcher is going to attack.
I don't think Josh has to worry about
Double
taking
block?
9 damage here.
Just don't you?
Just take it.
Why not double block? You trade his choice of creatures for the Spell Snatcher.
I'm trying to figure out why we care about the Spell Snatcher at this point.
Because you're at 9 and it's a 3/3, and like it's better than both your creatures.
I see. So basically, what you're saying is, if one of his, like let's say his Wind Scout
he
were
put
to
the Dragon's
die,
Eye Savant in front. So if Josh wanted, he can get the bounce if he wants it, or he can get the trade.
him.
I trade. Because the bounce doesn't kill the 3/3. I think you just say okay, and now you save your Whisk-Away.
For
in
sure.
fact, it's a surprise. Oh, he's going to reveal.
Yes,
All right.
there you go, Josh.
Josh liked your line rather than mine.
He also gets to see if the way is clear, and Stuart looks at it and says, "There's nothing left."
Yeah, the information of seeing Stuart's hand is really valuable.
It's
there.
really
I think
valuable.
that makes the reveal a lot better. And Stuart knew that the gig was up. He had nothing in his hand, and the Whisk Away was the lethal prowess trigger. So Josh Utter-Leyton wins round 14, earns himself a win and in next round.
Woo!
And best tiebreakers in the room, so it's a true win and in for Josh for sure.
Right.
Meanwhile, speaking of win and ins, Seth Manfield and Jake Mondello. Seth Manfield is on 33 points, so he's trying to earn a win and in next round. Jake Mondello is on 36, so it's a pod 2 match where Jake can actually get to 39 points right now, which is the magic number. I think the rest of the room is all rooting for Seth Manfield to win so that we don't get two 39-pointers out of pod number 2. Actually, I think Jake winning is better for the room. It's complicated.
Attack with Alesha. Seth really respecting the 3 open mana that Jake had. That could have been any number of spells from Abzan Charm up to Sandblast.
Well, here's Hunt the
Kill
Weak.
Shot.
Hunt the Weak kills the Morph, which was a Watcher. Seth gained the 2 life.
Yeah, he revealed a Jeskai Charm to it,
Yeah.
but he doesn't have the white
No
mana
white
to
mana.
actually play.
Now Alesha gets in.
Yeah, Alesha, of course, has first strike, so she's going to be able to attack pretty cleanly there.
Banner for Seth Manfield. Now he's got white mana.
You know, it's actually pretty interesting because if Seth can find another source of white mana here, he can actually get that Watcher back. Oh, it looks like I spoke
Reach.
too soon. Reach of Shadows is going to take care of Alesha. That would have been a pretty nice little combo, though.
Sure. Master of the Way is going to take care of the 3/3 Air of the Wilds.
I like that play from Seth.
Definitely. Rotting Mastodon. Shields up. You want to chip away?
It's going to
You're gonna
cost
pay
you
2 and a white.
mana.
Okay, I got mana.
Take that, Manfield. So there's certain morphs that Jake really doesn't want that to be, and there's certain that he doesn't care about.
Mandrills for Jake Mondello.
He doesn't want to see him pay 3 mana and flip up a Mystic here. Any type of flying creature he really doesn't want to see. And it looks like his guy got kill shot. His Leaping Master leapt, did not come down.
Which more creatures where that one came from? Seth writes one into being.
Puts a card back on top. Always disconcerting from the other side of the table.
One of these guys has bigger creatures right now, though.
That is true. Wow.
Face up Abzan Guide. Hooting Mandrills did not want to attack in. Maybe next turn?
Feel like that would have been a good turn to go ahead and rumble.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. If you'll take the 2 for 1, right?
Absolutely.
Seth had most of his mana tapped, so yeah, I might have
You
attacked
only
there.
have 1 mana available, so you're going to have, you know, a 4/4 lifelink and a 2/8 on the backswing. Sure, you could get Will of the Nugget and be sad, but 4 damage is
Jake
a lot.
playing it super conservative.
Why, he didn't attack
Is his
here
life
either?
just a lot lower than we think it is?
It must be very low.
But I mean, okay, brawl with the Abzan Guide then, right? Is he
Yes.
I think he said a single-digit number, maybe 8-ish?
Huh. Yeah, he just played Bitter Revelation, so he can't be that low, right?
Right. Longshot Squad, Einot Guide.
He still just refuses to attack here. Oh, now he's under a clock. Yeah, cancel that clock. Long shot squad on blocking duty. Even Einot Guide can block. The flyer.
Carsey High Priest.
You know, I haven't seen that play much, but this weekend people have really enjoyed it.
Hasn't done a whole lot.
No.
It's one of those cards that you can imagine doing cool things with. It just turns out it doesn't come up all that often. Seth's trying to figure out what he can do here. Well, he can attack in with the Kieran. Jake chose to block with the long shot squad. Sandblast.
So Jake's got to figure by now that that morph is nothing scary.
I think it would have been turned over by now. It's true.
Right.
Double block. All this time it was at a freed weaponsmith.
So that explains
Weapon Master.
It. Yeah, he was waiting so that he could get the trigger. And is that a... Oh, it's a Grim Contest. Grim Contest with the Rotting Mastodon is going to take down...
Turns it into a
the
mass
Weapon
trade.
Master. Yeah.
It's better than dying to first strike damage, that's for sure.
It is. Wow, Jake looks like he's firmly in the driver's seat now.
Ascendancy.
You know, when your turn 14 play as Mardu Scout.
You're saying Abzan Ascendancy is a slightly better turn 14
It's
play?
a little better on a jammed up board like this.
Yeah, Seth is trying to figure out what he can draw into, what can he, am I chumping? Well, I guess I can trade with the Einok Guide.
She's just going to turn into a spirit anyway.
Yeah. Karsi High Priest upgrades the spirit. It did a thing.
Wow.
It even manifested a Kieran into play. That changed everything that game. Karsi High Priest was the MVP.
I don't know about that.
Rotting Mastodon?
Yeah. It was
Rotting
pretty good.
Mastodon did some good work.
It did stabilize the board, and it was a recipient of the Grim Contest.
All right, game 2. Seth Manfield trying to earn himself a win and in. Jake Mondello trying to earn himself a top 8 spot. Seth is the aggressor here.
Kind of.
Kind of. I mean, War Shrieker into Banner. Banner not the most aggressive thing you can War Shrieker out.
It's kind of a funny thing.
He still curves. 2-drop into 3-drop into 4-drop, right?
He did.
Oh, Abzan Ascendancy for just the 1 counter. Well, you do what you got to do. Let's make Seth's attacks a lot harder now that that guy's 3-3.
Be a huge turn here. That turn took a long time even on turbo mode.
Yeah, Seth decided just to fly over with Leaping Master. Continues to fly over with Leaping Master. Kill shot once again takes down the Leaping Master. Heir of the Wild and a 3-3 playing defense. Yeah, Seth's Jeskai deck just doesn't look great at winning this sort of mid-game versus Abzan. How Abzan's supposed to work, right?
Exactly.
We get to this point in the game, the Abzan deck should have the advantage, and certainly seems to here.
Yeah, debilitating injury took down the Efreet Weapon Master while it was still face down, and Seth didn't have mana to flip it up, so that's off.
He was
the
one
table.
short. He had enough to flip it to pop his banner, but not to flip it. And Master of the Way gets an Abomination of Gadul.
But replaces it with a Spirit, which gets set adrift. I guess Seth has finally shifted this board back in his favor, though.
He did?
The guy
I mean, briefly,
have something to say about
until Jake could take a turn, the board was in Seth's favor.
Yeah. Briefly.
Right at the Serpent. Oh, okay. Kill shot for the Abzan guide.
But now it's back in the other. Oh, geez.
Oh, Death Dealer.
Don't know how many times he can pump it, but.
Is there anything cool for Alessia to get?
Yes.
Seeker of the Way. That counts. Wow, this is a weird race.
This is very
Reach
weird.
of Shadows on Alessia. No longer a weird and interesting race.
It was a cool race until then.
Now Mastodon holding things off. Death Dealer crunching over. Seth Manfield's top 8 chances probably falling by the wayside
They
here.
are evaporating in front of your eyes.
I mean, he'll still have a big match to play next round. Picking up that 12th win for 3 pro points would be nice for him. Not as nice as the top 8, though.
Right.
There's the handshake.
That was
Jake Mondello joins Eric Blanchett and Gerard Fabiano in the top 8.